what's kind of going on, but it's beyond words. I've been working so hard for a long time, and I knew something special was going to come at some point. It was pretty much the worst I could have done. The second round was like, okay, obviously played really well, made a lot of good putts, and then today I just felt everything kind of clicking. Made sure I missed it in the right places when I needed to, and putted beautifully today. There was a point in time where I did think about the 54, but I kind of threw that to the wayside. Like, okay, just...
A quiet moment in a public place unseen by the broadcast cameras, yet secretly caught on one mysterious phone, has shaken the golf world. For weeks only a few knew what was hidden, but now that secret footage has leaked, revealing the raw, unfiltered tension between two giants of the game, the calm and composed king, Scottie Scheffler, and the bold, rule-breaking innovator, Bryson DeChambeau. The golf world can't believe what it's seeing. Everything once known about their rivalry has been turned upside down. In the final days of May 2024, professional golf stood on edge, balanced between peace and pressure. On one side stood Scottie Scheffler, the undisputed world number one, a man whose game was so smooth, so consistent, it felt untouchable. His dominance came from faith, rhythm, and that steady confidence that made him seem unshakable under any spotlight. Fans saw him as the golden figure of tradition, the quiet champion who let his swing do the talking. But that calm image cracked just a week earlier. Not because of a missed shot or a rival's victory, but because of one shocking morning in Louisville, when an image surfaced of Scheffler wearing an orange jail shirt after his unexpected arrest during the PGA Championship. The entire sports world froze. It was surreal, the symbol of composure caught in chaos. That moment made everyone realize that even the most unbreakable can have human moments too. The golf world waited, wondering if the champion's calm would ever return. Standing across that divide was Bryson DeChambeau, Scheffler's complete opposite in every way. Where Scottie embodied tradition, Bryson was the face of revolution. He was the thinker, the scientist, a player who didn't just play the course but decoded it like a formula. He had trained harder, swung faster, and introduced a new bomb and gouge approach that split opinions across the sport. Purists called him reckless, but a new generation of fans called him a genius. Love him or not, Bryson was rewriting golf's rulebook, and now the tension between him and Scheffler has become the most talked about mystery in the game. By this point, Bryson DeChambeau wasn't just a golfer, he had become a full-blown phenomenon. As a captain and star of the rival LIV Golf League, he turned himself into more than an athlete. He was a brand, a performer, and a content powerhouse. His YouTube channel gave fans front-row access to his world. Workouts, behind-the-scenes moments, and bold opinions that kept everyone talking. But make no mistake, that was carefully crafted content, a polished version of reality designed to keep the spotlight firmly on him. By late May, Bryson's star power was blazing. After a dominant showing, he was riding high and entering the US Open at Pinehurst as a heavy favorite. He wasn't just competing anymore, he was leading a movement. Golf wasn't just about swings and scores now, it was a battle of ideas. On one side stood the calm, collected Scottie Scheffler, still recovering from the chaos that had shaken his image. On the other side, the loud, confident, revolutionary Bryson DeChambeau, brimming with momentum. The stage was set for a collision that everyone knew was coming. The only question was when and what moment would finally make the sparks fly. That spark didn't ignite under Sunday's bright championship lights. It happened quietly, in the most unexpected place. A practice round. The setting was Colonial Country Club, home of the Charles Schwab Challenge. Just days after the PGA Championship chaos, on Tuesday, May 21, 2024, the paths of Scheffler and DeChambeau finally crossed. To casual fans, it looked like nothing special, just two elite golfers fine-tuning their game. But one fan's phone, discreetly recording near the practice putting green, caught something extraordinary. The clip is grainy, the audio slightly muffled, but the tension is undeniable. It starts as a simple discussion about the greens. DeChambeau, ever the analyst, is heard saying, "The stim's running a consistent 12.5, but the grain on these Bermuda patches, it's a complete variable. You can't calculate it." Scheffler's reply is calm, steady, and true to his character. "You just have to see it, feel it. It's not always in the numbers." Right there, the core of their rivalry stands exposed, the scientist versus the field player. But then the conversation takes a turn. The audio catches DeChambeau making another remark. The first part unclear, but it ends with, "After everything that happened in Louisville, I'd think you'd want more certainty, not less." The moment lands heavy, quiet words that echo louder than any crowd roar. There's a tense pause, total silence. The mention of the arrest suddenly shifts the air, turning a casual chat into something way heavier. The camera, shaky but focused, zooms in on Scheffler's face. That calm, familiar composure disappears in an instant. His jaw tightens. Everyone watching can feel it. The line between friendly debate and personal jab has been crossed. Then it happens. Scottie Scheffler, usually the definition of calm and control, snaps. His soft Texan tone turns sharp, cold, and full of emotion. His voice cuts through the background noise as he says, "Don't." A moment later, louder and clearer. "Don't you ever bring that up to try and make a point about your science." The word science comes out like it's meant to sting. Scheffler continues, his frustration spilling out. You stand there with your calculators and your cameras, but you have no idea what it means to just play the game. You're turning it all into a sideshow. Then silence. The audio cuts off abruptly, almost like the person recording realized they'd caught something huge. The entire clip lasts only 45 seconds. But that's all it takes. It's the moment everything changes, the moment the quiet king finally loses his cool. The tension between Scheffler and DeChambeau isn't quiet anymore. It's out in the open, raw and real. For nearly 2 days, that clip sat hidden, unseen by the public, a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. Then on the morning of Thursday, May 23, 2024, just as players were teeing off at the Charles Schwab Challenge, it finally dropped online. An anonymous account with barely any followers posted the video with the caption, "Holy smokes, Scheffler goes off on Bryson. Practice round tension gets real. PGA Tour golf." Within minutes, the post began spreading like wildfire. One retweet turned into hundreds, then thousands. In under an hour, it hit Reddit. 2 hours later, it was the top headline on every major golf blog and YouTube channel. The community exploded into chaos. Theories, reactions, debates, and endless slow-motion breakdowns of every word and facial twitch. Golf fans, already buzzing from the drama of the previous week, went into total frenzy mode. The calm world of golf had just turned into the biggest headline in sports, and nobody could look away. The internet exploded. Comment sections turned into all-out battlegrounds, packed with fans defending their favorite golfer like it was a championship match of words. One supporter of Scheffler wrote, "Bryson is a clown. He deliberately poked a man who just went through one of the most stressful moments of his life. Scottie had every right to snap." Moments later, a DeChambeau fan clapped back hard, posting, "So much for classy Scottie. The guy's a fraud. Bryson was just talking golf, and he totally lost it." His true colors showed. The back and forth spread like wildfire, with thousands jumping in to take sides. What started as a small practice round clip had now spiraled into a full-blown internet war. Major sports outlets tried to stay cautious at first, but the tidal wave of attention was impossible to ignore. Within hours, breaking headlines lit up screens everywhere. Scottie Scheffler and Bryson DeChambeau feud erupts in leaked video. Golf Digest, leaked audio reveals Scheffler's fury toward DeChambeau. ESPN. Suddenly the story wasn't about birdies or scorecards, it was about personalities, pride and perception. The focus had shifted from their swings to their character. Talk shows and golf podcasts jumped in immediately, dissecting every second of the clip. One commentator passionately argued, "This is what happens when the cold, analytical mindset of live golf runs into the heart and soul of traditional golf." Scheffler wasn't just reacting, he was defending the spirit of the game. Another host fired back, "Let's be real. This isn't about golf philosophy. It's about pressure. Scottie's been under massive stress, and this was a totally human reaction. Calling it a war of ideologies is way over the top." That short 45-second clip had turned into a mirror. Everyone saw something different in it. For some, Scheffler was the honorable defender of old-school golf values. For others, DeChambeau was the misunderstood innovator being unfairly attacked. It wasn't just a feud anymore. It had become a symbol of everything dividing the sport. Meanwhile, the real tournament at Colonial Country Club faded into the background. The players might have been out there chasing birdies, but online the only competition that mattered was the one raging across social media. As the chaos peaked, both players and their teams locked things down tight. Their PR reps scrambled behind the scenes, controlling the damage and refusing to fuel the fire further. Finally, late Thursday evening, Scheffler's camp broke the silence with a brief, carefully worded statement. Scottie and Bryson had a private conversation during a practice round. Scottie is fully focused on competing at the Charles Schwab Challenge and will not be commenting further on the matter. And with that, the king had spoken. But the storm around him was just getting started. While Scheffler stayed silent, Bryson DeChambeau wasn't built to keep quiet for long. 2 days after the video leak, he finally broke his silence. Not through a press release or an interview, but through his own YouTube channel. The title alone sent shockwaves across the internet. "My Side of the Story: What Really Happened with Scottie." Within minutes, tens of thousands of viewers flooded the premiere, waiting to hear his take. Bryson appeared calm but serious, sitting in front of a camera in his usual sleek, Live golf gear. His intro was smooth. No flashy graphics, no hype music, just his voice. "Look," he began. "What you saw was one moment, out of context. Scottie's a great player, and I've got nothing but respect for him. But when people start twisting facts, I've got to speak up." The chat exploded instantly. Comments flew up the screen, some cheering him on, others calling it damage control. Bryson continued, addressing the Louisville remark that had sparked everything. "That line wasn't meant to be personal," he explained. "It was about focus, about certainty in your approach to the game. But emotions were high, and maybe it came out wrong." Then he paused, a rare quiet moment from the man known for never holding back. "I think people forget we're human," he said. "We all have moments. Golf's emotional, man. It's pressure, it's pride, it's everything you've worked your life for." But the video wasn't just an apology. Bryson subtly shifted gears, turning the narrative toward his own philosophy: innovation, evolution, and breaking barriers. "Some people hate change," he said with a slight smile. "But golf's changing whether they like it or not." That one line lit up social media again. Was it a jab at Scheffler? Or just Bryson being Bryson, confident and controversial? Either way, it reignited the fire. Reaction videos, sports podcasts, and even mainstream news outlets dissected every frame, every tone, every pause. Some praised him for taking accountability, others accused him of spinning the story to his advantage. By the time the video hit 2 million views, the narrative had split the internet down the middle again. Scheffler's silence made him look dignified to some, and guilty to others. Bryson's openness made him seem brave or manipulative, depending on who you asked. What had started as a 45-second clip had now evolved into a full-blown digital drama, the biggest story golf had ever seen. And with the US Open just weeks away, fans were convinced this rivalry wasn't cooling off anytime soon. The following weekend, all eyes were locked on Fort Worth, Texas. The Charles Schwab Challenge wasn't just another tournament anymore, it was the stage where Scottie Scheffler would make his silent statement. No press, no interviews, no explanations, just golf. Pure focused golf. From the moment he stepped onto the first tee, cameras followed his every move. The crowd buzzed with tension, whispering about the video, the feud, and Bryson's YouTube post. But Scheffler's expression didn't flinch once. His focus was laser sharp, his swing crisp, every motion deliberate. Commentators couldn't help but frame it like a movie. "He's not playing the field," one said during the broadcast. "He's playing the narrative." By the end of day one, Scheffler was already near the top of the leaderboard. His rhythm looked untouched, almost mechanical, like the drama hadn't even grazed him. Fans online started rallying behind a new hashtag, "Let the Clubs Talk." It became a movement overnight, symbolizing his silent comeback against all the noise. Meanwhile, whispers circulated about whether Bryson would respond again. Some claimed he had been seen watching the live feed of Scheffler's round, while others said he was planning a reaction stream. Nothing was confirmed, but speculation only added more fuel. As the weekend continued, Scheffler's play was flawless. Every birdie felt like a message. Every calm smile after a big putt felt like a rebuttal. Analysts noticed how he avoided looking at cameras, rarely interacting with fans, completely locked in. "This isn't just golf," one reporter tweeted. "This is psychological warfare with a scorecard." Then came the moment everyone talked about, the 18th green on Saturday. After sinking a 25-foot putt for birdie, Scheffler looked up, gave a tiny nod and muttered under his breath. The mic barely caught it, but fans online swore he said, "That's how you calculate it." Instantly the internet went crazy. Was that a direct shot at Bryson's data-driven science talk? Clips of the moment hit Twitter and TikTok within minutes, sparking another round of wild reactions. Some saw it as poetic payback, others thought it was coincidence. By Sunday, Scheffler sealed his win, raising the trophy with quiet fire in his eyes. No interviews, no victory speech addressing the feud, just one image of him lifting that silver cup. Calm, controlled, but unmistakably defiant. And somewhere across the world, Bryson DeChambeau watched that clip too, silently smiling, knowing this rivalry had only just begun. Scheffler's short statement was what fans called a classic non-denial denial. It mentioned the incident but avoided every emotional detail, a clear move to calm the storm without feeding it. By telling the media he was focused on competing, he was basically saying back off. But that calm message only made the internet even louder. Millions had already seen the video, heard the tension, and drawn their own conclusions. Then came Bryson DeChambeau's turn to respond. Early Friday morning he posted to his social media, "Golf is a game of passion. Sometimes discussions get heated in competition. I have nothing but respect for Scottie as a player. We're all competitors. My focus is on winning this week for the fans." The tone was polished, smooth, almost too perfect. More like a press release than a personal message. Fans noticed immediately. Some praised him for being mature, while others accused him of dodging responsibility. That phrase "for the fans" hit differently. A subtle PR move that painted Bryson as the man of the people, standing in contrast to Scottie's royal calm. But the real storm wasn't just about two golfers anymore. It was about two worlds colliding. PGA Tour loyalists claimed the moment showed how LIV Golf was changing the game in all the wrong ways, calling Bryson a disruptor who didn't respect tradition. Meanwhile, LIV supporters fired back, saying the clip finally exposed that even the PGA's golden boy wasn't as perfect as everyone thought. Suddenly, this wasn't just a feud, it was a full-blown identity crisis for the entire sport. Fans, analysts, and players were all choosing sides, each convinced they were defending the real spirit of golf. And as both men went quiet once again, the world was left buzzing, wondering what would happen when these two finally met face-to-face at the next major. If you've been following this wild story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because this rivalry is far from over, and the next chapter could change golf forever.